Yeah, sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, that's all right. Just checking.
Yep.
Right, there you go. Put you on loudspeaker. Come on. Right, so we're here with Marilyn. Right, I'm going to start the recording.
It's going to be replayed.
It's going to be replayed. But anyway,
Okay.
we're here today. We've still got Marilyn with us.
Hello, everyone.
And we're talking to Claudio. Claudio's got a different version of what he thinks the virus is.
And my version.
Yeah, you could tell him your version, but he'll tell you something different. He will, but no.
It doesn't mean I've got to agree. Everyone's got their own opinion on
yeah.
it.
100%.
Claudio, I've been following Trump. Yeah, I've been following Trump since just when he got in. In fact, I won some money on him.
Oh,
and I've
nice.
been following him since he got in, and the way mainstream media and the demon crats have been against him.
That's right. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Claudio has a slightly different version of what you think is going on, though, don't you, Claudio?
Yep. I mean, there's a mix of things in there, but it's all astrological and timing, and that's what I hope to show you today. Hopefully, I can get the message across. With I'm going to step through some of the slides. I know it's not easy to show a video on here, so
That's
I'm going to.
All right. No, we'd rather see it.
Can I play the video? Will it stream properly?
Yeah, because it'll be on the computer. Yeah. Play it then.
All right. Well, let's just start with that, and then we can ask questions from there.
Cool.
Okay, just one moment.
Anything else that's happening then that you know of?
Myself, other than just watching.
Well, no, you're going to explain another one. Marilyn, anything else you want to say?
Is it true they've released Phil McConnell?
He's just getting a video ready. Wait a minute. We're just waiting for Claudio to get. He's gone on.
Yeah,
You're muted,
sorry.
Claudio.
I just took the mute off. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. O'Connell.
Well, he had his own channel, and he worked high up, or he was an ex-top military marine, and he was for you know, he was, when I say for, he was against the child trafficking and what's happening with the children, and the Satanists that's all over USA. And he got arrested, but I found out that he got released. I just wanted to know if you've heard anything.
No, I haven't.
No.
I'm sorry, I haven't been following that one.
Okay.
So, yeah. Just bear with me. I'm trying to pull up that video. I had the slideshow ready because I didn't think we'd do videos, but it's all good.
Oh,
He's organised, Claudio.
Trying.
Right, we're waiting for it to go on the. We can only see your icon at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get her up and ready. And do I go full screen or not full screen, Karen? Do you know?
I don't know. We're not live anyway, so it doesn't matter, does it? I suppose.
Okay. Yep. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna share my screen.
We're just waiting. The anticipation.
Anticipation.
Yeah, well, we're interested to hear and see what it is that you're going to say, because I know you find it quite easy, Claudio, but other people don't know, do they? They don't get it and they see something different. So here we go.
Right.
Yeah. Wait a second. I haven't got it yet on that. That's it. Right. I'm putting you on the computer. Right, you're on. That's it. We're there.
Okay, so I'm going to go to full screen. Let me know if you still see it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to let it play now. Ready?
Yeah.
Not a virus.
Do you hear the voice?
Just about, yeah. Turn it up a bit.
Not only will you understand the meanings,
that's
we're going to show you what is causing it and why. The etymology of corona. Corona means crown. It means head. This is your top energy center. You do know that your brain is the most energetic, right? The etymology of virus is a snake releasing its poison. but the snake they are referring to is the caducean, the kundalini. You know the caducean, the medical industry's logo. The medical industry does not have this knowledge or lost wisdom. So all the things we do that cause impurities in our bodies is what causes the kundalini to cleanse. This is our body. This snake represents the well-balanced part of our body. This balanced energy is always within us and is pure, or also called the yin. If you're not good to your body and spirit, the yang snake will be out of tune. On specific timed events found in your natal chart, you will cleanse. The severity of it depends on if you've seen it coming and if you've prepared yourself. Do you remember this slide? The luminary that comes around approximately every 500 years? The Santa or saint that comes into your Klaus or Claustrum? Well, she is back. This slide from last year showing Eris coming into Aries, your head, for a brief look in June of 2019, and then coming back into your head, Corona, in May of 2020. Like I said, she's back and plans on staying for the next 50 years, giving you one more chance after her look in May. Learn your birth chart to see how astrological alignments will affect you and when things are lighting up. Luminaries like Hygeia and Mars, especially now as Hygeia is transiting Taurus, the throat chakra, for cleanses, flu-like cleanses. On my chart, I had a 6-day cleanse. Hygeia started its transit on June of 2019 and has been hanging around, going through a retrograde, leaving on May 25th, 2020. Hence, when things lined up for me, I had a 6-day cleanse. If you need more information, follow the link, ask questions. Life is much more simple than you can imagine. Mama is just trying to get your attention. Thanks to these beautiful people for all their passionate work. Peace and love. Words within the song Stairway to Heaven. There's still time.
Hey, thank you for that. Oh, he's on mute, I think, because he's doing the video.
Questions, if it makes anybody go click. It's, you know, I don't, this is not monetized. I don't do any of this to try to get clicks. I just try to wake people up to what I think is what's happening. And I'm at a point now where I can very positively say that I know it's what's happening. I got, any questions so far?
No, we're listening.
Claudio.
Claudio, we can see your Facebook. That's it.
Strangely enough, I'm 6 months in recovery, and I've been suffering a lot of headaches, but I've resulted to go to yoga, which I've started to do once a week. It's really helping me because I've got a lot of angst inside me. Maybe what's going on around me, but I'm finding it's helping me within, you know, within myself mentally, and taking time to have relaxation for at least, you know, just 5 minutes, because I'm very susceptible. I feel bad energies around me. Although I don't research a lot of things, I've got experience of what happens in life through my past, and all I can say is that I just know things are going to happen for the good this year.
Yep.
I just feel it in my bones, my psychic. I can't explain. I don't even know the word because I'm not well educated and articulate. But
I'm with you. You're 100% right.
I just feel my senses, my common senses tell me, and I keep telling people they must have faith, because what's happening in the world today it's a cancer of greed and power that's eating up, and someone or somebody's has to pull the reins in. So we have to endure a bit of pain for a little while, but I got the feeling it's going to be a revelation this year, a reset.
100%.
Thank you.
And I can prove it. And that's what Eris is. Eris is the Madonna.
Brilliant.
If you look at all those luminaries that I had on that sheet, every one of them has the exact same story.
Oh,
She makes a circuit every 500 years. She comes into our head, she goes forward and then retrograde back and forth. We're supposed to go inward and fix ourselves.
that's what I'm doing, and I don't know where I've
Right.
got it from, but
So why is there this this consciousness coming about? She's going from Pisces, our feet, our red chakra, the ones where they're all profit mongers, and she's now coming into our heads. So Mama's coming home. Santa Claus is coming home, and he's coming into our chimney. You learn this from Santos Bonacci. She's coming into our top chakra.
oh,
She's already come in June of last year, took a peek, and when you watch, I can see all the handoffs with all the other luminaries, how they're communicating with each other when you look at a timeline of all these beautiful, beautiful luminaries. The ones that NASA calls asteroids. Oh, without
no.
those on the chart, you're not doing it, you're not looking at everything properly. So anyway, she is coming into our head chakra. It's time to wake up.
Oh,
Now, last
brilliant.
time she was here, and the previous time she was here in our head, because every 500 years, we were in a different age. We were in the age of Pisces. The age of Pisces is the dark ages. It's the red chakra where people get away with anything they want because they're not listening to what they're supposed to be doing. So all of a sudden, Mama's coming, and we got to learn how to get along in the sandbox. So you can't
Yeah.
escape it. You can't put aluminum foil over your head. You can't do any of that because it comes from within. The ether is from within each atom, and we're made of atoms. So that means she's in us, and that's the collection. That's the collective consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It is the ether, the God, the Godhead, absolute, right? The absolute being the zero, the one, like it's in the Fibonacci spiral, 0, 1, 1. Okay, and then everything grows from there. The zero is the absolute. The first one is the yin, or the one that's in the mirror image, the one that's pure. And we are tied, leashed on the second one. That's the yin and the yang. So we're tied in with goodness, never being able to escape it. We just go through dark ages to get these lessons, and then we get all these pains. And then if we don't learn and we're not paying attention, all metaphysics books, Ken Wheeler's, he's awesome, man, because it all fits. And it fits with math, arithmetic. It fits with Plato's divided line. It can't be any other way. So now, coming out of the dark ages, coming into the age of Aquarius, which is John the Baptist, we're being baptized with water. This is the etheric water. Hence, everybody is going to wake up and things are going to be beautiful. But got to pay attention to the stars. We have no choice but to pay attention. If not, we come back and we try again. That is the snake going around in its circle, biting its tail so it can stay alive, eating the material world, and then it means infinite rebirths till we start getting it right. But know that there's always a cycle that comes and pulls you out, and that's what we're in right now. We're in the beginning of that cycle that pulls us out of the dark ages, and we get illuminated to who we really are towards one love.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
'Cause
So
I
I'm going to
was
share
born.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was born January the 3rd, 1954.
Okay.
I don't know if that's.
No, I gotta get it down, at it, research it. I can't do that. I'm not like some people where they can just take a date and paint a whole picture. But let me get yours down, and then I will do your chart for you. I've been doing charts for people now, and it's amazing what you can find.
Do you want me to give you mine then, Claudio?
Okay, you know what? Why don't you want to just text me both your dates after?
All right, then we'll do
Yeah,
that.
100%. Because everybody should be looking. Everybody needs to be looking at their chart. It's your DNA. All your cleanses are in there. I'm going to show you a couple examples. If you guys got more questions, we'll do that, and then I'm going to show you a couple more examples.
Well, so you're saying that we're in the middle of a reset then?
Well, yeah, no, we're coming out of the dark ages. So the reset, if you want to term the reset, the people who are redshifted with their thoughts and their bodies, Yes, they're the ones that are going to feel it the most. Hence why you're getting all these CEOs. They're already scrambling. They can feel the heat because the truth's coming out. And the truth is love. The truth is purple. The truth is right. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, right?
All the
The
film
stars,
stars.
the stars light the way of love. We have to pay attention to the stars and the luminaries. That's all they want. And it's in your chart. It's who you are, and that's what makes each and every one of us different, and that's what makes each and every one of us
Can I
love
tell you
each other.
something?
Because
I don't know if you've noticed it in your sky, but we have a star that's extremely low right now. It comes up. Sometimes it's been around the moon, and you could say it's Sirius, but it's so low in the sky. It looks like you could actually grab it with your hand.
that's interesting. You're gonna have to take a
I mean, if I
snapshot
took
of
a
when you
picture
see
of
that.
it, it's not going to make any difference to you. But it's there. It's almost as if it's below the clouds. It's that low. But there's
Yeah,
definitely a low star. It's a very bright star.
well, that probably is Canopus.
I'm just saying, is that the one that's doing it?
Oh no, they all have a part in this play. Every single one of them.
Yeah. Can you just explain to people that you've done this chart and you're taking a lot of your information from this chart, aren't you? Could you just explain a little bit about that so they understand why you think that it's the luminaries doing this, which is the stars?
Right. I'll show it. Well, it's the fixed stars and the wandering stars, right?
Yeah. Is there any way you could show your little
Yeah.
like
I'm going to show you an
I
example.
call it Claudio's Ezekiel wheel?
Oh, that one there. Yeah. That one there is a walk of life, and it's all how the universe works, and it depicts the river of heaven, right? So, and the river of heaven lines up with where we're at with the ages, and that's where the meridians come in. That's why the meridian is Alexandria, and then it shifted to the meridian of Greenwich, and now that meridian there is where I'm studying to find out where it's at, because it's really important. It's
Right.
really important because energies are going to be the greatest there, and things happen based on that. So, you want me to pull up that wheel? Is that what you're saying, or?
Yeah, just so that the people know where you're getting more of your information from, just in case anybody hasn't seen you, doesn't understand.
Yeah. Can I go on to? I'm going to go on to something first that's going to lead to that.
Okay.
If you don't mind. If you don't mind.
We don't mind, Claudio.
Okay, let me just pull this up here.
A lot of people are finding it really hard. Like I got sent a video today where they're in some warehouse shop and then they bring out the toilet rolls. People aren't just buying a 6-pack; they're buying like 20 packs a go because they're in packs. These toilet rolls. So instead of just picking up the 6-pack or the 8-pack, which they would have done before, they're buying maybe 10 of the toilet rolls, and then they're going mad, like dunk, 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 they're all gone. I mean,
Yeah.
how horrible to do that to the people. I mean, there's other ways, even if you have to use paper. Oh dear, right, here we go. Right.
Everybody's being redshifted right now, okay? Because they have been. So the media companies, they just love it because it gets clicks for their advertisers by putting all this crap on there.
Right. Sorry, the picture's come up on the little box, but it's not come up. It's not come up on the main thing.
So here's what's happening. They put presumed positive. Presumed positive means we have no proof.
Yes, yeah. Are you referring to the coronavirus?
Companies will soon be next to start resigning because we know the fake news. We know.
And the film stars are using the coronavirus.
Doing it for greed.
Yeah, exactly.
But the coronavirus is something that's happening to us. It's amazing how they pick the word corona. That's the crown chakra. So anyway, let me get back to, can you guys see the
picture?
Can you guys see the screen?
We've got the picture, yeah.
Right, so it's amazing how one of my friends posted this, and I said, oh, thanks for that. I needed to look into that. And so the Black Death was in Europe, right, between 1347 and 1351. Okay, and this says it's taken a proportionately greater toll on life than any other known epidemic or war to that time. So I went and looked in there. Okay, so here we go. On January 10th, 1344, all right, that's 3 years before it started. There's Eris, there's a Madonna, there's Persephone, there's Santa Claus going into where? Pisces, into the Dark Ages. All right, you with me?
Yeah.
So this is where things start. That means turmoil is going to start. She went from, she's going into Pisces from Aquarius. People are going to be lost. And if you are not cleansed and following the luminaries, then you will suffer great freaking cleanses. So these people are cleansing. And if they are beyond help as far as metaphysically, spiritually, then they get an eternal rebirth. They go for their next cycle in their life. That's the way it works. So she comes around and she always does cleanses constantly, depending what sign she's in. So here you go. She's coming into Pisces, the Dark Ages, right? So in 1347, when people started dying, here you got Pluto just coming into Aries. So Pluto's coming into your head while Mama's sitting in the. So you got Pluto in your top chakra and you got Aries in your foot chakra, your red chakra, the base chakra. This is not coincidence. This is not coincidence. So then that document said there's other years that were started getting worse. Well, there's Ceres. Ceres is now coming into Pisces. Ceres is the Grim Reaper. Ceres is the harvester. They call her the harvester of wheat, but we are the wheat. We are the seed that's growing here in this realm, earth, whatever you want to call it, manifestation, emanation. So Ceres is now coming into, and that's when it kicked back up. In 1362, 1362, 68, 81, it struck again. This is not coincidence. I've shown things for the 1906 earthquake. Ceres was in there like a dirty shirt, causing a whole bunch of wake up call. An earthquake is a wake up call. Tornadoes, hurricanes, all weather are wake up calls because they want us to look on why they're happening. Because once you start looking on why they're happening, understand why they're happening, it's all the luminaries. Then you go, wait, if the luminaries are doing it, what else are they doing it? And the next step is if you realize that it's hitting your internal weather, not just the external weather, now you're
Do you
paying
think the
attention.
stars are some kind of weapons then?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, just
Absolutely not.
asking.
No, there's no weapons. They're angels. They're angels, but we're infinite. We're infinite. If we don't get it right, we're going to go back to school. We're going to be reborn again.
Claudio, is that why, you know, Comey, when he gave out that message where he's standing in a field of corn last
Could
year?
be. Yeah, I don't know that one, but could be.
Yeah.
Could be. And then
Sending
the next
out
one,
a message.
yeah, 1381. There you go. Ceres was it hit him again. Ceres was aligned with Mama, Madonna, Eris, whatever you want to call her. And look at Pluto. Pluto then moved into Taurus. These are lined up intentionally. Now, everybody's chart needs to be put up against this, and you will see which person had the largest cleanses up to including rebirth.
I wish you
All
could
right.
do that now. Can you do that now?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
She wants to know her chart now.
That's okay. So here's a young man that I just did his chart for. A friend of mine that I met about 5-6 years ago, and he said, "Hey, can you tell me why I'm going through 3 months of lung issues? Then it turned into puking and diarrhea, and it just lingered on and on and on." I looked at his chart. You have to look for Hygeia, which you can see up here. Hygeia, right?
Right.
Mars. those two guys are trigger points. So right now, all this cleansing that's happening with Mama over here. See Mama? Oh, I wish I could
Yeah.
have some there, but so she's right. She's to come into Aries right in May. So here you have Hygeia in retrograde in Taurus and Mars. That the outside is what's currently transiting, and the inside is his natal chart. So looking at his Gemini, there's Hygeia, and there's Mars. He's got them both in retrograde. That means he's gonna really cleanse, right? So then I showed him how every time the moon passed by, the moon keeps passing by, it'll cycle on and off until Hygeia and or Mars leave your chart. So for him, I told him by March 18th to the 20th, you'll be good. And he's already on the mend going towards March 18th.
Oh,
So it's right there. I've done my cleanse and my wife's cleanse, knowing exactly. We don't go looking for it, but now I'm going to. But once we have them, I go and see them and then predict when they're going to end, and they do. We don't go get any pharmaceuticals because that's going to make it worse. The relapses are because the moon goes by and different aspects start happening between them.
oh.
So the more and more I look at these, the more and more I'm able to see. So that explains why, well, my husband's got them, I kiss him, and I'm not getting sick, right? Or I kiss my wife, and I'm not getting sick. Well, because it's not in your chart. You're not contagious. It's not contagious. They're cleanses.
So if you're awake, you're not going to have them in your chart. If you're not awake, you are.
Okay, so if you're awake, awake means you're clean. I don't put poisons in my body from Monsanto. I don't drink alcohol. If I know a cleanse is coming, I'm going to go on juice fasting. I'm not going to drink any alcohol, and I'm going to make sure my body is as pure as possible. Because I know when I feel something coming on, before I used to look at my chart, I used to take ginger. When you're taking raw plants, that is a vibration of Mother Nature. If you take pills, it's a vibration of profit. See where I'm going? Profit is redshift.
Oh.
Mother Nature is blue shift, green shift to blue shift. The other side, you're going to cleanse.
Oh, you mean on your chart, you've got green, kind of red and blue and purple. So you're talking about that part, yeah?
No, I'm talking about your chakras.
Right, okay.
Blue shift meaning your head, red shift meaning your feet, right? So red shift means materialistic. Materialistic means profit. And people, if all they care about is profit, their time right now, they're going to have a tough time during their cleanses. And hence why you see the guilt now coming into these CEOs and they're leaving.
Yes.
And
And the film stars,
right,
Hollywood.
right. They got to start paying attention. What does this corona really mean? What is it? What's really happening? It's trying to wake us up. It's trying to get our attention. And just to clarify, the purple, green, red, that's the four of the five elements: earth, wind, water, and air. Sorry, earth, air, water, and what's the? Oh, geez, I'm drawing a blank on the fourth one. But anyway, it's the four elements of the five. The fifth one obviously is the ether, and that's the point in the middle. The point in the middle is always the ether, the vortex point.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, thanks for showing us that. Marilyn wants hers done ASAP, but thank you so much for showing us that chart to show you.
Yeah, thank you, Claudio.
You've
Yeah,
got
you're
more
welcome.
stuff to show us.
That was basically it. I'm just going to keep doing
Right.
more and more people's charts and showing more and more people where they are feeling. So like when I had surgery and when I was 23 years old, bowel surgery, it was there. It was there in my chart. Mars was there with Pluto, and it was retrograde. And knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have went through all the bull crap that the medical industry gave me, and they made it worse at one point by giving me their pills, and I was bleeding out my rear every 5 minutes. I was bleeding out my rear because of what they gave me.
Oh, bless you.
Right. So it's in my chart.
Claudio,
Yes.
can you recommend a good detox?
Well, I'm studying that too, right? Because every plant has a different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the detox is listening to Claudio.
Well, just ask for guidance too. They're waiting for you to. All the luminaries are waiting for you to ask for guidance. You're not. This is church. Talking about this right now. This is church. This is true
So
church.
are we moving the stars round then with our consciousness?
You
Or they're all
well,
in a cycle, they're just in that cycle.
well, we're all part of it. It's all one. We're in this emanation materialism, given us a feel for what it's like to be materialistic, so that we can then once again return back to Eden, the ether, one love, spirit. We're youngsters, right? No, we're young stars. The river of heaven is full of all of us. We have a link to every one of those lights. Billions and billions of stars, right?
Mm.
The river of heaven is really important to understand. And all the mainstream astrologers that follow tropical versus sidereal miss the fact that all this just happened. The January 2020 video that I made of all the luminaries
Yeah.
crossing the river of heaven, they all thought it's in Capricorn because they're off by 23 degrees.
Yeah, you told us that before, that there's this 23
Right.
degree. Yeah.
23 degrees off. Now, when I went and looked, because it's hard to find data for the epipheris, that means where everything's at in the sky for back then. I did find one, but you can see they only had tropical. But I just took the math of 2020 minus 1348, right? And whatever that number is, that many years, and then you just divide that by 72 years per degree loss, and it totally lined up, and I knew exactly where it was in the sky back then. And it totally lines up.
On that wheel thing, that edge of that wheel he was showing, it's a whole thing with all these things.
He done the Hangout.
Yeah.
Because I remember that, his logo.
Hey, look, Corey, can I ask you something? This is completely separate now. Just one question.
Okay. Yep.
It had to be on the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer when the moon was passing. Now, in the UK, we don't get that many moons at night. So it may have only actually happened. This is 2017, I think. So it may have only happened once or twice since, because the moon could be in the day, etc., or whatever
Right.
it is. Anyway, this person told me to look at the moon. I watched, because my office where I'm sitting in now looks east. So I watched the moon come in. So every time you see one of those moons racing, which means you look at the moon and you can actually almost by your naked eye see it moving across the sky. It's moving, but
100%.
you'll look up, and then you'll do something and you'll come back and the moon has moved a bit. But this, you could actually watch it go through the stars. So it came in from the north, it went down, then it was like it stopped, it picked the stars up, it came back up north for about an hour, dropped the stars off, and then went south. When I actually thought about the sine wave it had done a heartbeat wave. And then it's very crazy because Dave Marsh does a lot of, Dave Marsh, he does a lot of research. He found that when he almost put it into a graft, we had these heartbeat waves. So it's the same thing.
Cool.
But it did it. I saw it. So people, I just cannot believe with 2020, and hardly anybody knows that the moon drags the stars and plays a big part.
They're all cogs in the grand scheme of things.
The moon is moving the stars around. It's not just the sun. It's the moon. It's just does all this stuff. But of course, it wouldn't have mattered if I'd filmed it, because you'd have just seen a part of it. What I needed was Stan Smith's 360 camera on my roof, showing what was happening with all the stars and seeing all the stars move. Either those stars moved or the whole lot moved. Well, I think the whole lot had to move because it was moving them around. It was moving the stars back, moving the stars round, moving them around.
Right.
And I was like on the landing going, holy moly, I just couldn't believe it. And even to this day, even though I haven't seen it again, because I need someone like you when the moon is on the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer, and it has to be nighttime because you have to see the moon, see the stars.
It was full moon the other night last week.
But only when you see that moon racing through the sky, that's when it's on the tropics.
It was great big.
I'm pretty sure people in their consciousness will think, oh yeah, I've seen the moon race.
Right. So
it comes in really quick.
so let me explain something to you. They are all connected, like cogs in a gear train. Okay, they all are, right? They used to have these, and everybody's trying to decipher and try to remake them so you can. So we figure that somebody's buried this information somewhere in the Vatican, which all that stuff's going to come out now because it has to. The sun moves every 24 hours, 24 hours in a day, right? The
Right.
ancients used to follow moons, not suns. Okay, you used to follow the months. Okay, but just go like this: if the sun is 24 hours, the stars move 23 hours 56 minutes, and the moon moves every 24-hour 50 minutes. So they're all moving at a different rate. So when you look at them, you will see that the moon looks like it's pulling the stars, but it's actually the stars make up the zodiac. The moon goes across each zodiac sign every 2.5 days. That's why the moon's in Virgo, then it goes to Libra, then it goes on and on and on, right? If I'm saying that, I'm trying to think if I'm saying that right, which direction it's going. But regardless, it goes 2.5 days per zodiac sign. So it looks like it's pulling the stars because it's barely noticeable, but it is. The moon is the fastest moving luminary in the sky, and then it becomes Mercury, and then so on and so forth. So you are right. It is pulling the stars, so to speak, because they're all in the same gear train, so to speak. The moon is, as you listen to Ken Wheeler with his magnetism, and then Santos grabbing and putting astrology on top of that, saying that the sun is the proton and the moon is the neutron. It all makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
The sun is materialism. The moon is spiritual. There's your yin and your yang. That's why the yang has got the G in it. The G is the 7th letter of the alphabet, which is the 7 colors of the rainbow, which you get from the sun. So that's why the yang is the material, that's the white, and the yin is the I.
So what you're saying basically is they've got us frightened of all this, but we should embrace it.
Right. The Bible is a physics book. The Bible is a metaphysics book. Everything in there. John the Baptist is Aquarius. The 12 disciples are their 12 zodiac signs. Jesus is the sun. Then they talk about the Christ, and the Christ is the Christ within. That is where all the chakras and everything comes up, is where you get the stars coming through your body, right? Going through every chakra. If they're pure, you're going to be fine. How do you get them to pure? Certain plants, culpepper, Hippocrates, those guys knew all this. A certain plant is represented by a planet. There's your E. The difference between plant and planet is an E. And the E stands for energies. It's the 5th letter. It's a star. It's the 3 golden ratio triangles. So certain plants will bring certain organs into the right vibration. That's why they're called organs. They vibrate with certain color.
Right, yeah. Oh God, you actually I forget because I'm just whatever I am.
Yeah, no, I know.
I forget that everything is connected and something means
Yes.
something else all the time. It means something else.
Yes, and it's so simple. So, what would a grandmother tell somebody with a sore stomach? What tea would they tell them to drink? Chamomile.
Peppermint tea.
Chamomile is one of them, right?
Peppermint tea.
Peppermint tea too. Yep. The color of chamomile is yellow. The stomach is the yellow chakra. Get it? If you want your stomach to heal, ginger is yellow. I take chamomile. I had a really sore stomach. I indulged yesterday. Shouldn't have, because I'm going through a different kind of a cleanse that we'll get into detail, but I've studied it, and I know I'm going to have stomach problems till May. And I have. And it's related to when I was 23 years old. I know that's there. So when I take ginger and chamomile, it soothes my stomach. Well, that's the yellow chakra. Go look up culpepper. There's a beautiful brother or sister, I'm not sure who made it. He's got culpepper index, and he's taken that old text and he's put it into converted from just reading a PDF to actual text, so you can search through it and look at it.
Oh yeah, Marilyn just wanted to mention we don't see the stars very much here because we've always got this thick layer of low cloud. Now, a lot of us do know that there are clouds that go higher, but we have this level of cloud which is really low to our houses. You know, it's not very high. But I mean, just say for instance, I'm not saying America doesn't get, some parts of America don't get the cloud, but we just get this heavy layer. I mean, I actually flew, it was a few years ago with Ellie. It was in March. We flew from Luton Airport, which is near London, to Genoa, and basically it was thick cloud all the way to the Alps. So that's about 800 miles or so. It was just a big layer of cloud, and then when we got to the Alps, it cleared.
Wow.
They just keep the northern part of Europe in cloud, so we can't see the stars. I mean, how can you connect to the stars if you don't see them?
I ain't seen
Yeah,
them.
you know, I'd be just guessing, but it'd be a pretty good educated guess. When you go to Aruba and you look at their skies always clear and their water is really calm, everybody there on that island is happy. That means the ether is not being disturbed. There's beautiful people with beautiful thoughts and
I mean,
happiness.
where are all these clouds coming from? How can you have such a big cloud?
I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. When there's turmoil and sleeping people and not happy people, you're going to get more clouds, more rain, more wind, more waves. Okay.
Oh, what? Because we're making this ourselves, you mean? Very
Yeah.
quickly as well, can I ask you something else? Did you like
Yeah.
my video when I showed how, what it is that seems is that in the Elizabethan times when they did the Tartarian maps, they had
Yep.
pictures of Greenland. Greenland is only a little bit bigger than the UK.
Yeah, I know.
And then suddenly I was thinking about it when I saw the four rivers and where they were. And then when you put them together, that's how they've made Greenland so big.
Yep. Those four
And in
rivers are
there is
really
the
the
North
swastika,
Pole.
right?
So no wonder the North, they're going to say, well, it's always moving. They want it to move because they don't want you to know where the North Pole is. And the North Pole is in what we call Greenland.
Yeah.
This is why Trump wants to buy it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know when he opens his mouth, I really don't know what he's really trying to say. He's always trying to fool the masses. He's always trying to he talks out of both sides of his mouth, right? It's a typical politician. When the truth is out, they will tell the twisted truth and act like they are in the know. So they can continuously fool the people. People still think that he is a truther. He's not. Because if he was a truther, he'd be sharing this truth. If he was a truther, he'd be sharing the international covenants that they so desperately hid with the Vietnam War. Okay. They've so desperately hid all these truths about common law that was going to shut their empires down. They've so desperately always shut down cannabis, they shut down everything. But we're coming out of the dark ages, and now Mama is lightening everybody up to expose these guys. And not only are they being exposed, their top chakra is being hit, and they're going to start feeling the wrath of the people's thoughts.
See, this is the one little bit where, you know, I mean, me and Marilyn agree on most things, but she does believe that Trump's a good man. But when I looked at it all, we get this impeachment, which they would have taken thousands and thousands of dollars out of the people's purse. Then we get, he didn't get impeached. And then you get, you know, Nancy Pelosi ripping up the documents, and now she could go to prison. I mean, it's just you just want to go, ha, 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 ha. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
taking
what
all this
they're doing
money
is
out the public person. So when you realize that that's happening, and then the media never portray Trump as a proper person, he always looks like he's been plastered together or a panda bear. And then you've got little Boris who stands in the middle of the road, and it's just like they're all part of the same thing.
He's part of the stage, but he's the good one. He's the good side. He's the good versus evil.
But you did say to me by the summer, Marion said by the summer, if the arrests haven't happened, you'd say, okay, Karen, I get it now.
Yeah.
He's going to be one of them arrested.
She's still in hope that he's a good man.
Everybody's good. I send love and forgiveness to everybody, but you're going to watch. Listen, Marilyn.
Yes.
Nikola Tesla, who was about to give the world free energy, he tried everything he could and all the rich people knew that they would lose their riches, but meanwhile, everybody would be rich, and they're silly. So when Tesla died, all his patents, the name of the guy that dismantled his lab is Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's uncle dismantled the lab.
Yes, I know.
So
that.
they've been right. So they've been planning for him to be, they always put puppets in there, and he's silly for taking this on. So now he's going to wear the wrath of the lies. They stole our freedom. The Trump's family stole our freedom and kept us enslaved. The British Empire owns the United States. The British Empire owns every
I
banking
just want to stop
system.
on that one. If you were in England right now and I went to the public with a microphone and I said to them, who do you think runs this world? They'd say America. So you're told it's
Wrong.
the UK. We think it's America. Do you see what I mean?
No,
it's just how they play the game.
Okay, yes, but the British who came over and started America and made America be their puppet so they can hide. We still swear, when you come into Canada as an immigrant, you still swear servitude to the Queen in an oath. They're
But
signing you up as a citizen. They're signing you up as a servant. They're signing you up as someone who wants to be in their corporation. Canada is a corporation. The United States is a corporation. Every country is a corporation to which have signed international covenants, and they've been hiding that fact. I've researched it for 4 years. Common law has been hidden.
Yeah,
It's
I
to
do
give you
believe
your
that.
freedom
That's what
and
David
choice.
Giamatti is into, you see.
yeah.
Is trying to
Oh,
educate
yeah.
people into the fact that, you basically, it's even like you can even ask the judge what judge he is, because 9 times out of 10, he shouldn't be serving in that court.
The
And so
judges,
forth.
right?
They've got an allegiance, haven't they? So what did you want to say? Marilyn wants to ask you something.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
A friend of mine, his mother's lived in Canada for over 30 years, and he's been over to see her. She's now at 92. He's 69. And do you know what? This time he applied for a visa and he got refused over a misdemeanor, petty theft from 30 years ago. He wasn't allowed in, a British, and his mother lives in Canada and his sister. They're not allowing in any.
Is that why Harry and Meghan have gone to Canada? They've gone to Canada, haven't they? They're living in Canada right now. Oh.
They're not letting
The grass is always greener. Canada is just as corrupt. Canada is a corporation. The Supreme Court rulings that I have tell the Attorney General of Canada that they are a federal juristic unit, which means corporation, and they do not own the land. Okay? These are tyrants that have started corporations that all funnel with embassies. All those are banking funnels, all to the British Empire, Mason, whatever name you want to give them, whatever people these are. It's just a bunch of profit mongers who all want a piece of the action. Well, now everybody's trying to get a piece of the action, and it's being overexposed. Every constitution comes from and must adhere to the International Covenants of Civil and Political Rights and the International Covenant of Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. They're there. When they got signed, I got the whole historygram of how they did all the mass media events to fool the people so you would never know it. Canada was the strongest that woke up. That's why they called them the land of the free, but never told anybody the truth. And Canada hides the fact that we are common law, but they say it, and then they keep switching definitions. In their, I got all the Black's Laws dictionaries. I've looked at all the definitions, and they keep switching definitions between human being and citizen, and person and individual.
Yes.
So
it's like your
we are
passport.
the Queen is the CEO of Canada, and she has given the power and rights to the Governor General. So the Governor General is acting CEO. So the Queen is a puppet for these people that are money mongers. And they've just ridden this lie so long, and they're enjoying themselves so much. But now the stage is turning. The cookie is crumbling, and they're all going down. And Trump, sorry, Marilyn, he's one of those puppets. He's born in the boys' club. They only put boys' club people like Trump there. He's part of the boys' club. Trudeau, part of the boys' club. His dad was prime minister. They give you the illusion of choice. They
What about
give you who to
Boris
select,
Johnson?
and they control all the media. There's 6 corporations that control all the media.
Mm.
So they are telling you, here's your selections. If you wanted to go for president, nobody ever know about you because they're not going to give you any media time. They own all magazines, newspapers, billboards, and TV across the whole world. You got to ask yourself, why does a country at war allow CNN in?
Exactly.
Because it's a stage. It's false fear.
Yeah. I did put again. I've talked about this quite a lot, but I put a video up that's on Unscrambled, and it was made in 1967, and it talked about how they were making the news in advance. They were saying this is a rocket, this is us in space, and they were going to bomb somewhere. And then the guy said, "But how can you do this?" And he said, "Well, who can go there? No one will know." And rah. So it's a bit like they can get away with a lot of the things because it's not like, hey, let's get you, me and Marilyn, we're off to China today to go and see if it's real. We don't know if it's real. And then don't forget, they're going to be told something,
Exactly.
you're told something, we're told something.
Exactly.
Look at Stonehenge. That's supposed to be all topic.
But it's just that they're not, it's a bit like us communicating is the real thing, and then we can see what's happening. But without that, you could be sitting there watching news. Oh, look what's happening here, and look what's happening here. You go to Italy, it's not happening there, like they say. It's just a game.
It is a game. It's a media game, and they control the media. I'm sure you've seen the videos with every media saying the exact same sentence.
Yes.
It's just that it's really hard because America go. All the people in America think England ran it all, and all the people in England think America ran. Don't we?
Yeah, last night.
Marilyn, what do we get? We get our own news, but we always get a great big section of the world with Trump in it. So to us, it's like, oh, he's one of the big people then, because they're always showing us him.
That's right.
So in one sense they're going, he's an
diversion.
idiot. In the next sense, they're publicising him.
I thought Trump had a bit of Scottish blood in him.
They didn't like him up there, did they? At that golf
It's all
course
diversion,
in Scotland.
people. It's all diversion.
But he can say he's been there and he's on a green screen. I don't believe any of them have been there. I don't believe any of them do the things they say. I've made so many videos now when you can see through the people, they're glitching. And the only way, if say he was with Putin, for instance, and he was glitching. So the only reason he can be glitching is because Putin's not there.
Right.
Everything would be glitching. It's not, it's just Putin.
I get it.
It's just awful to lie to us like that and pretend all this news is real. So they made this months ago.
It's over, Karen. It's over. Watch them all. They're all scrambling now. It's starting.
Really? You think this is the end?
It's the beginning. So this great conjunction of Pluto and Saturn started in 2019 and will end at the end of 2021. Mama's going to be in, she's going to be in our top chakra and be with us for the next 50 years. Starting late, I can't remember.
He says it's the end. It's all collapsing now. Everything's collapsing, basically.
We now are awake, and nobody is.
Is that partly as well because they have the paper money? They have those machines saying, "Oh, there's $50 million in this bank," but there isn't really. There's just a number on a machine. There isn't really any money.
Pixels.
Yeah.
It's all pixels.
Pixels. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So basically, they're trying to portray that everything's okay when really they're collapsing.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing exactly what they've always done.
That's all I can say. Hooray!
Yes. No. Seriously, they're doing what they've always done and continuously lie and hide the truth because that's all they know because they're red shifted. But now even them, they're going to start getting blue shifted. And if they don't, they get plucked.
But Claudio, it must be Trump and the military that's doing it.
Doing what?
Against the CEOs and the film stars in Hollywood. And
no, it's their
Disney
own conscience. Their own conscience. Their own conscience. They're running right now because the truth is out, sister. The truth is out. They're running now. They got no place to hide. They know look at Mama's coming up to clean the sandbox. It really gets no more simpler than this. We're in the age of Aquarius. We're being baptized. The Madonna's coming into our top chakra, and she's going to start working her way down again.
What's going to happen then? Because basically, we'd like them all rounded up and taken away. They're not going to go to prison, then, are they? So what are they going to do? Harm themselves?
There's the luminaries are steering.
What you mean? It's a bit like overnight. What was good is bad, so they were at the top, and now they've gone to the bottom. It just happens.
Yes.
So it's a bit like he goes to sleep as President Trump.
That's why they're using the coronavirus, the film stars, to say that they've been like tested positive for the coronavirus. That's to get them out of trouble.
Yeah, it's all more whether it's true that they have it or not. I'd have to see their birth chart. If somebody wanted to say they were tested positive on a cleanse, and you can call it corona because Mama and Corona, she's already taken a peek and she's coming back in May. So between May and next year, you're going to see a lot of coronas light up and a lot of cleanses. You're going to see it. They're not contagious. They're in your chart. And I'm looking for somebody who really, like I just did one. A guy said, look at me, I've been sick all this time. What is it? And I showed him. He is so invigorated now. And because he went to his doctor, and the doctor says, I've been sick for frickin' since January. The doctor told me he's got acid reflux. He looked at the doctor, smiled, and said, he's in his mid-30s. He said, I think I have Hygeia in my Taurus. And the doctor looked at him and walked out of the office. I pray for the doctors.
So you mean, is it that we're all different types of humans, and maybe it's coming to the end for some of these versions or something?
Well, no, it depends what's written in their chart, but more than likely they're going to have some very, 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 very strong cleanses when it happens to them, and it's timed events. But
I'd love to know what was going to happen to Trump and Boris.
Anybody know his real birth date and time? And where
he's
he was
not
born?
A real person. I don't.
We don't know.
Guess who's got all the birth dates and everything else? The stock markets. The stock markets know exactly when people are going to sell because they have your birth data. And the top companies in the world, go Google it. The top companies in the world that run stock markets.
Do you find it a bit alarming then, Claudio?
They have astrologers.
Do you find it a bit alarming when all this is going on that Google are taking over YouTube?
Nope. No, because they're being steered too.
Yeah.
YouTube.
But we know what
everybody
Google
got scared.
is.
Everybody got scared because their YouTube channel is going to shut down. Remember that? It didn't happen.
Oh,
no,
I got the same birthday as Donald Trump.
Oh
my goodness! Except of course he's older than me.
Oh,
well,
I was going to say.
He's older than me.
14th of June.
Yeah, the 14th of June. He's a Gemini. That's why he talks rubbish. Though he talks rubbish. I'm sorry, but yeah. Anyway, you're showing something on the screen. What are you showing on the screen?
Okay, so there's the Ezekiel wheel you're talking about. I wanted to show this because a friend of mine thinks that, and I'm not going to mention any names, think that this is gobbledygook. It's retarded. You're just trying to make it fit. He took down one of my other friends by calling him names and everything else, and I thought I don't stoop to that, so nor will I even want to say the person's name but I do want to show the people that are interested in this. And when you take the numbers, and I did this before. I don't know, Marilyn, have you seen this before?
Let's have a look. Did you show it on Karen's other?
Yeah, it's got bits missing. It hasn't put all the dates and little things in, but it's the same thing with the swastika on it.
Right.
Which I believe is the land as well.
So this is I didn't put any land or anything in here.
No, but I'm saying I think the Ezekiel's wheel is all about the land as well, the shape, we are, and there's a bit missing. But anyway, carry on.
Right. Okay. So if you look at the four corners of the cross, you'll see zeros. Do you see them? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Right. So I'm going to show you some more interesting things in here. Now watch this. We're just going to count in Fibonacci spiral. You take 0, which is the absolute. Okay, this is metaphysics now.
Yeah.
Everything comes from the 0, which is the point in the middle. So the cross reaches out. That's emanation. Then you add 1. That's the yin. And then the second one is the yang. So 0, 1, 1. So you always add. So 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Do you see it?
Yeah.
1 plus 2 is 3, and just
2
just keep adding the last 2.
Oh yeah, 5.
5
5
plus
and
8 is
3 is
13.
8.
No, 5 plus
8.
8. 5 plus 8 is 13. You don't keep the tens column. That's for accounting and taxes. We
Oh,
don't need to know any other number than 0 to 9. So just keep the last number. 5 plus 8 is 13 is 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Keep the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. If you do this and wrap all the way around, and we're going to come down to the back here, 2 plus 9 is 11, which is 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. We're back to 0. So it repeats every 60 numbers, which wraps around your clock. So now look at, how can this conveniently end up with 4 zeros at a cross? You see the 4 zeros on the cross?
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
1.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Let me do
Zeros.
something here. Let me get a
Yeah.
big pencil out here.
Yeah, I can see.
I'm just gonna, I want to make a bigger, okay. So right there, right there, right there, and right there. There's 4 zeros. Coincidence, right?
Mm.
Now this person will not look for himself. He won't look, and he keeps telling me this is just coincidence. Now look at every fifth. 5, 5, 5,
Oh,
5,
yeah, 5.
5. These are the gates. These are gates. All right.
Come on.
So there's 4 0 gates, and then there's 8 5 gates. All right. Oops, I'm
Yeah.
gonna pull these off for a second here now. Now look at the swastika. 1011. You won't find it anywhere else. I'm gonna turn the opacity down a little bit more here.
This is why he thinks his system works, because so much fits into this system.
So this is the alpha, which is A in the letters, and Aries is on that side. Sorry, I turned this around for something else, but Aries is over on this side. And then, I mean, I should probably, okay, anyway, I got this flipped around for something else I was doing. So this is the alpha to the omega. Okay, do you see that? 1 to
Yeah.
9. So you got 90. You won't find 1011 anywhere on here. You won't find 9099. And then here you go,
Sure.
where the 7th letter is, which is G, is 7077. That's the as above. That's the sun. That's the 7 colors of the rainbow. And then down on the bottom, you have 3033. How can
Sure.
this be coincidence? Oh, but now look what's down here. Famous Tesla 369. See it?
Sure.
Okay, that's the great Egyptian pyramids did 3/60ths. They built it 3/60ths from true north. And it points
Yeah.
to the 369. This isn't
Oh,
coincidence. This is how the whole universe works. This green line is the Milky Way. It's the river of heaven. It lines up with the 28-degree, approximately Sagittarius, the galactic plane. So how can the circle of 60 repeating numbers point to 369 and be the exact same location as the river of heaven, the Milky Way? There's so much more in here. I'm just going to show you a couple more because they said, no, music's not in there. Well, yeah, talk to the jazz player that showed me this. He's passed, by the way. When you look at all these here, C has no sharps or flat. F has one sharp, one flat. B flat has two. E flat. Okay, and then you go C down. C, G, D, A. That's the number of sharps and flats. I can also throw things on here that show you chord progressions. They're all in there. The whole universe and how we vibrate is in here. All right. So this is not a coincidence. It's not. Everything lies within this circle. What
sure.
else I want to show you? Okay, the first 6. What does 6 mean to you in numerology wise?
666.
Right, materialism, right? 6 in numerology means materialism. The first 6 comes at age of majority at 21 years of age. This represents your walk path of life as well. This is the vibration that you need to put your birth chart on. I haven't done a whole lot more research on that, but I've started it. So the river of heaven and its alignment with the meridian of Alexandria and how it shifts is really important. The Egyptians were leaving us a mark in the sand, so we never lose sight of who we are and how we get there. Just wanted to share a little bit more of that in case my dear friend does come and take a look. It's for him to show him that it's physically impossible for numbers to just show up like this, which show the as above, so below, the 369, the river of heaven, music, everything you can think of is in here.
And everyone's different chart.
Everyone's different chart can lay over top of this, but this stays the same because this is the universal key. This is the Da Vinci Code. If you take, it's in here somewhere, but if you take Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, he points to the 108 degrees, which line up to a lot of these numbers in here, which make a lot of sense.
Anyway,
I can go on. I got 2 complete videos on that if anybody's interested.
This is enough for people to get it.
Yeah, if they're interested, they don't, if it clicks with them, vibes with them, they can go watch a couple of videos that I have, ask questions, whatever. Again, I don't monetize my channel. I don't sell anything. I just want to share truth. I want to be more
We know,
purple-tipped than red.
Claudio, you're a nice man, you are.
Oh, it's not about that. It's about sharing.
Is there a book that you can read up on, or is it just?
Well, once you understand that code thing, I mean, obviously, he's saying you need to get your birth chart done. That would help you with what's going on with the virus. And then,
yeah, I started 3 sections of a free book that I'm making on physics, metaphysics that I understand, and trying to put it in a form where people can see, because Ken Wheeler, Santos Bonacci, they're so in tune with disproving what's out there. I'm only selecting in the proof and forgetting about teaching people how, and convincing people that the way is not right. I don't do that anymore. I'm just sharing the truth. It's all their work, but I'm piecing it together and trying to make it as easy as possible to read and understand. So I want my grandkids to know it and understand it.
Oh, we've been going for an hour now. I was just wondering whether you could, in the last few minutes, explain again, like just an overhaul so that people get it.
So the luminaries are really, really, really interested in us paying attention. If you get woken up, I do. The moon wakes me up. I go outside, I say some intentions, I come inside, and there a brother or sister somewhere around the world will text me, and I have a great conversation with them. I know I was supposed to do that. Like if you wake up in the middle of the night, your ears ringing, ask for guidance, go outside. Go outside.
I do get that ringing thing quite often, Claudio.
Talk to the luminaries.
It comes into my head and goes out. It just comes in and goes,
right,
and it's gone.
Right. They're trying to get your attention. So go outside.
You
don't need to join any groups where you got to pay money. You just got to go outside. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to connect. And Mama is, because she's coming into your head. So it's really important now for people to be brave and know that they want you to pay attention. It's you, really. It's us. It's the absolute. We're all connected through the yin. Our yang is our choice. Our yin is our connection to the absolute. That's the 0, 1, and 1. So get to know your birth chart. Use sidereal. Doesn't matter if you use equal house or not. I use equal house. Use sidereal, what's actually in the sky. Tropical is off. They miss the whole thing happening over the river of heaven because they think it's in Capricorn. You can't go outside and say the moon is not in Libra, it's in Virgo when it's actually in Libra, or vice versa. You can't do that because if I shine a light in your eyes, you're going to squint. So how can a light pointing at somebody else cause me anything? So to recap, look at your chart, know when your cleanses are coming. I'm going to put more and more examples of people's videos. I did do a brother and a sister, okay, whom I both know. One I know personally and one I know through Facebook, who've had issues with, how can I say it? I like using positive words, but their mind wasn't good, okay? And they've had cases where, they wanted to leave this world. I can see it in their chart, and they're both invigorated by it. You can see when somebody's going to have those feelings of not feeling good mentally.
Oh, because
They're
I had that
there.
feeling the other week.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, you think that it's one way, but
And
it's
I can
not.
tell you right now, it's Saturn and Ceres. So the Grim Reaper is
Oh,
playing with your mind, and Saturn, Father Time. And when those are both retrograde or one or the other, and they're lining up, oh yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
that's
So 2
interesting.
people now, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Now the one
So
brother is actually helping people from his experience that he's went through. So he's studying his chart so he can go to these people and say, hey, 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 hold on, hold on. This is a phase. You're going to get through it. And that's encouraging, knowing that it's a luminary thing. They're trying to get my attention, and what do I got to do? And now it's a common ground where people can say, oh, wow, so this was supposed to happen? You with me?
Yeah, because I get that black cloud every so often.
Right, now you'll be able to follow your chart, and I want feedback. I'm just learning this. I'm an amateur.
she wants you to do
Oh,
her
I'm an
chart.
please,
amateur. I just want
Claudio.
feedback from people. Yeah, I felt this, because don't forget, there's stars that play a factor. There's different aspects that play a factor, but the
Yes.
major aspects you can see and feel. So
And
all you got to do is
sometimes I can wake up and feel great, and then other days I know I've got a feeling something's gonna happen, and it happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean about that. Yeah. Yeah, you always know
100%.
you're a bit manic or something, and then something happens.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
go, oh, that's why I was manic.
Right, but then you should have went and looked at your chart and the transits going by and say,
Yeah, but we
what
need
was
you
it?
there for that one, Claudio.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Hey,
It's
I've
okay.
just got to ring Claudio up to find out how my day's going.
No. You don't want to do it that way. You don't want to do it that way. You just want to, the things that give you the peaks and the valleys. You just want to look at those ones, or else you're going to be sitting there looking at, you just walk around with a chart on your
So what's the
wristwatch,
thing
right?
everybody's got to do then, Claudio? Look at their birth charts.
Look at their birth chart. I recommend a good friend of mine, not friend of mine, just from speaking with him. He's always very helpful with anything I ask him with the Time Nomad app. It's awesome. It's only apparently it only works on iPhone and iPad, but
We need
that's the one I
someone
use.
like you because we can get some of the information, but then well, it says that, and then none of us are gonna, unless we've done like years of research, like what
Right,
it
so
all
that's why
means.
I'm creating documents that are easy to follow. And when you start learning who the luminaries are and what they do, then you'll understand what's going to be happening.
Mm,
But they're going to be invigorated that you're looking, and then they guide you. And animals
right.
come into your life. Animals come into your life. Insects come into your life. People come into your life. Whether you have a great relationship with them or not, they're going to say things to you that you need. That's the way it works.
I've got a pigeon that's laying eggs on my balcony. I get them
It's a
there all
pet.
the time.
Lee's got
Go
one.
to go to spirit go to
Pigeon.
spirit-animals.com when you have an encounter, and there's your guidance.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Well,
crazy. The crows.
maybe Claudia, what we could do is we finish in a moment, right? Because we've been going
Yep,
for a bit. But then
yep,
we can come back and do another one in a week or two, because then we'll have moved, or in a couple of weeks when we've moved on a bit.
100%,
Yeah. I very much
100%.
appreciate your time.
Thank you, Claudio.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Claudio.
thank you. I hope it helps at least one person.
Well, maybe a lot more once the video goes out.
As long as it's one at a time, I'm good.
Well, it's brilliant. We very much appreciate. Yeah.
I appreciate you allowing me to
Yeah.
share.
Marilyn's on later. What's it called, Marilyn? On Unscrambled. Well, it's on Sun and Moon to start with.
Recovering ex-gangsters more.
Ooh, wow,
Yeah.
awesome.
So Marilyn's talking about her journey because she's given up drinking. She actually wants to give up smoking, but she just wants to be, she wants herself to be a different person than the one that was coming out.
I've had a couple of
Time to cleanse. It is time to cleanse. So it's amazing how you're doing that on your own, right? And then you may have a cleanse coming, and you're going to pass with flying colors.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, thank you.
Anyway, Claudio, just for the hangout, don't go. We'll say goodbye off air, but for this hangout, thank you. And let's click that off because you're on my screen. So yeah, thank you so much
Thank you so much.
Claudio, for sharing all that with us. I'm going to call this hangout CoronoClaudio. That's what it's going to be called. Anything else? What was the chart again that you used?
The Time
What's your
Nomad app. Time Nomad.
What? No, you know, with the Zeki's wheel on it. What? I mean, sorry, with the Zeki's wheel. What's that? Or swastika,
Well,
rather.
that's what I call the universal key, which they can see. I've made
That's
2
it.
videos on. I found so much more in there. I haven't made a video of it yet.
I'm just going to call it CoronoClaudio Universal Key, and hopefully that's enough that people will come and watch this video and see for themselves. But it's been amazing. Appreciate. So Marilyn, mwah, Claudio, mwah, and chat room, mwah. Thank you so much.